Look at that. Timed perfectly. Just on the out of the trumpet blare. Bow! And in I come. Boo! Ba-da, 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 boo! Well, Statsman, what kind of a day have you had today?
Oh, it's been great.
Did something hit the spot?
Thanks for that, yeah. I think it's a spot.
Should we introduce him? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, don't say anything.
I wish I hadn't bloody mentioned it now. Go on.
Don't say anything.
What about me big zit? No.
I believe you've been memeing away.
I'm always memeing away.
Having a laugh.
Gotta have a laugh. You know,
At somebody else's expense, I hope.
What's all right? May as well laugh at your own downfall, I suppose. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there is so much happening. I'm not going to say what's going on, but we've got some things that we're going to talk about before we get into it, because we've got little things that we're going to talk about. But, okay, have you ever had a bad hair day?
I always look in the car to see who's driving before I cut anybody off. If I think they can kick my ass, I won't cut them off. That's why I cut you off. Okay, guess I was right. Are you having a bad hair day? You know, when I first met you, I thought you were wearing a swim cap.
Dude.
I'm living here for a long time.
Well, that explains all the for sale signs.
Please tell me about you.
Okay, I'm antisocial. Sometimes I pretend to be on the phone so I don't have to talk to nobody.
Okay.
Is that good?
No.
Bro, if you were to run full speed into a wall with an erection, what do you think would happen?
What do you think?
I think you would break your nose. You know? Are you wearing a cape? Like a superhero?
I'm sorry?
What would your superhero name be?
I'm gonna call the police right now.
Superman.
Oh. What?
Oh, wait, I got another one. Super sensitive.
No, it's not.
He is just great. I absolutely love him. Now, I found this, because remember now, this is an over 18s cast, and we curate things to comment on. We like to do a few of the funnies to start off with. Now, this is Thunderbirds reimagined.
You're got the serious stuff.
There you go. What do you think? Do you think it'll do anything as a pilot? I'm talking about in broadcast, pilot series, you know, stuff like that. You know?
Yeah, it's a winner, that.
Well, I think this is Wes Streeting's first visit to the Navy. Are you ready?
Hello, sailor.
I've always been fascinated by boats and sailors, I really have.
Oh, yes, sir.
And I like to know what all the things are called, you know. Like that thing on the floor there, what's that called?
That's a cleat, sir.
A cleat. And what are those big things sticking out up there, then?
Those are 6-inch guns, sir.
Oh, go on, you're having me on. 6-inch guns? They must be 15 foot. Oh, and what are those things the boat's tied to?
Bollards.
No, don't start anything you can't finish, sailor boy. And how about that going across the deck?
That's a horse, sir.
Is she? I must say I like her dress.
No, Wes.
I'm telling you. Right, anyway, okay, enough of the frivolity and the happiness. Let's get into a few things. Now, you remember we were talking about Freemasons Hall
Oh, yes.
last week. You know,
Or Masons couldn't build.
yeah, this is the one, you know, that they envisaged. And, you know, basically, this is what it looks like. Okay?
Well, that didn't quite work out as planned, did it?
No, right now.
What happened there then?
We're going to be developing this story further because I was sent an anonymous letter. And it's been giving me details of what's actually happened. Now, remember a company called Cheshire Masonic Properties Limited, company number 00375,364. Now, that company went into receivership in November 25. Now, that's the company that was meant to be building this new HQ.
Oops.
I know. And the letter goes on to explain what's actually happened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually get some more facts put together, and then I'm going to break it down to let everybody know. But suffice to say that the proceeds, it confirms that the proceeds from Sale Masonic Hall, or I should say the sale of Sale Masonic Hall, actually was put in to build the new HQ.
Ooh.
Okay, definitely.
How much was that?
It's around about 1.5 million. All right. Now, as of October, when it collapsed, it's now, this letter was explaining that it actually, a director of that company also became a director of the Cheshire Freemasons charity. And this is where the plot thickens. Okay? And they're saying in this letter that this person managed to persuade Cheshire Freemasons charity to buy the land back after it went bust. So something strange there, and I'm just wondering whether the Charities Commission is going to start getting involved.
Well,
And also,
I think so, wouldn't you?
yeah, I do have it on good authority that the police have been advised. But apparently, the police are on a little bit of a go slow.
Yeah. Is it like going for a wee on a windy day?
Well, it could be something like that. But considering that Peter Morrill was actually investigated for 400,000, we're talking about sums in excess of 2 million.
That's peanuts then, isn't it? 400,000.
I know. And you remember Peter Morrill from the SNP. But anyway, we're actually going to be, we're going to be delving more into it, and we're going to get more statements from the neighbours to start developing this, because it turns out that they're actually trying to keep a lid on all of this to make sure that people don't know that all this money has gone and there's nothing to show for it.
Poof, disappeared.
Just gone.
Just got, well, actually, not disappeared. You've got piles of rubble. I tell you what, you're right. The plot to this is thicker than me Mars gravy.
So we're actually going to delve further into it, and we're expecting to invite some of these Freemasons onto the show to explain where this money has gone, and especially not just to us and to the audience and for the record, but also to explain to 3,000 Masons within the Cheshire province where this has gone, and how.
It's that pattern again, isn't it?
How can the United Grand Lodge of England, which is the governing body, sort of defend this? How is that the case? I mean, because they're defending it. They're attacking people that are actually trying to talk about it.
There you go. There's another pattern. So it's a big pattern of when there's loads of public money or charitable money, and it's not their money, it just tends to disappear. Mm-hmm. And then when anyone questions anything with any integrity, it's, well, deal with the symptoms then rather than the actual disease.
Yeah,
because it's easier, isn't it? Just to shut the symptoms up.
Well, that's it.
Problem doesn't go away though, does it, John? There's still
Nah.
a lot of people's money there missing. I'm guessing this was all money that was belonged to Masons or whatever in the first place.
That's right. Yeah.
So just poof, and none of them questioning it. Do they not want to? So where's all our money gone now?
And we can confirm that the Cheshire Freemasons charity did purchase the land back after the company went bust, and they now are in control of the land. So what's going to happen to it, I don't know.
So these sell some land to buy a building, then it ends up in rubble, then they buy the land with no building on it.
Well, basically, that's all got to be knocked down.
And then if they want to build something else, they're going to need another 2 or 3 million, are they, I guess?
I don't know.
I mean, no wonder who's paying for that.
Well...
My God, this is a mess, isn't it?
But it is a mess. And it is bad. And we're actually going to delve further into it and start bringing it out. And also, the people that are being attacked, I think the Freemasons should stop attacking them straight away, because there are more details to come out. So I think they should just completely back away. Stand back.
Shadowy figures and money going missing. We've heard all this before, haven't we?
Well, yeah, indeed.
But then again, will there be any accountability? Because there never seems to be. Like the Scottish guy did, but that's very rare, isn't it? Someone's actually held accountable and punished for it. So,
absolutely.
We will follow this with
interest. So there'll be more to come. And if we do hear from them, we hope that they are just there to educate us and tell us more and fill in the facts for the rest of the people, because I also believe that these people are in control of a lot of money in something called the festival.
Yeah, I can imagine that the peanuts they've just wasted on this is a drop in the ocean, isn't it?
Indeed. Okay.
Wow, it makes the mind boggle. On what scale is this? Is this just Cheshire, or is this going on, throughout the land, like most of the issues we come across?
Well, it's a good job we're members of the Free Speech Union.
Well, maybe I'd suggest that any Masons or whatever across the country start looking into where your money's being spent. Because
definitely.
You're telling me this is isolated, because it never is it?
No.
So, get looking, see what's going on, do a bit of digging. It's your money, remember?
I
don't care. No, doesn't bother me either way, but yeah.
Right, well, here, on other subjects, the new mayor of Hackney Green. Now, listen to what this candidate did. Just listen to this.
I think of introducing a new feature on this show, which is cowards who are too cowardly to turn up on the show to explain their own actions. And I think I'm going to include in that, or kick that off this week, with the new Green Mayor of Hackney. We invited Zoe Garbett on the show this weekend to discuss her measure, to talk about Haifa. Haifa is the twinned town, city in Israel with Hackney. The Green leader of the London Borough, the mayor, wrote to the Israeli city of Haifa to discuss ending that twinning arrangement. She asked Yonah Yahav, the mayor of the Israeli port city, to respond to this request. What date do you think the new Green leader, the mayor of Hackney, chose? Well, it would be October the 7th.
October 7th.
October the 7th.
Yeah.
Hackney Council say this was a mistake. Totally inadvertent. You might think someone in the press office, one of the councillors, the mayor herself, who presumably extremely literate, well-informed political people, might have seen that and just thought, you know what, maybe we want to rethink this. Maybe we choose October the 6th, October the 8th, August the 15th. Who knows? Any other date in the calendar. That might just offend an Israeli mayor.
Yeah, absolutely. And why wouldn't it?
It doesn't take much, but yeah, fair point.
Are these people dipshits?
Mm-hmm.
Does she really want to come under the scrutiny of Israel?
Mossad have probably already bugged her out.
It's just incredible. I mean, how, I wouldn't trust any of these people there anyway, but, as far as I'm concerned, Bill Maher has got the up on all of it. And they are all communists.
And finally, Donald Trump has told 1 trillion lies, but when he says the Democratic Socialists of America are actually communist, that's not one of them. And it's not hard to prove it, just by quoting the DSA and their candidates. J.D. Vance was on the show, and I told him that if the Democratic Party keeps going in the direction of the DSA, my vote was in play. And all I heard all vacation was, oh my God, you're a Republican now. No, that's not what I said. I said in play. And here's why. Because not a week goes by where I don't read about some newly chosen, exciting new face in the Democratic Party. And then when that face opens its mouth, the Communist Manifesto or some other crazy shit comes out.
There you go. And it's the same old, same old.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to be a stickler, but the socialists and communists are not quite the same, because the communists wanted and participated in violent revolution, whereas these bunch of drips, these democratic socialists and Fabians, they're in it for the long haul, because they actually believe in their twisted brains that they can get people to vote for this shit. Oh, some of them do, which is worrying. But yeah, it's going to be the end result. It'll be total state control, and you'll be eating out of puddles. Sorry, you'll be eating pigeons and drinking out of puddles. So, yay.
And they want to take over the means of production, as well. I mean, these people are sick. They're absolutely sick.
And John, that's when it turns to communism, because when you start trying to take things off people and do all that stuff, then people aren't going to have it. And that's when the violence starts. And then they've got to double down, haven't they, and show that they're in control. So that's how it kind of works. Doesn't matter what type of socialism it is. It could be Hitler's or, I don't know, Mussolini's. Do you know what I mean? Mao, Stalin. It all ends in tears, doesn't it?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, because they're going to run out of other people's money, and they're just squeezing. Yeah, they're just squeezing people. I mean, because we're the most taxed people, basically, in the West, in this country. They're just taking everything, and they're going to come after you in death taxes. I mean, oh my God. Here's Nigel Evans. Now, since he's come out of everything that he's doing, he's starting to talk a lot more sense.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got to sort out the social care policy and how we're going to pay for it. But there are a few areas that the Prime Minister could be looking. And number one is, of course, the welfare budget, which has gone totally out of control. We're spending more on welfare now than we're actually raising in taxation. We've got 1 million people, more than 1 million, who are not in education, employment, or in training. We've got more than 4 million who are on personal independent plans. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous that we now have people who are getting 100 quid a week more on welfare than they would be if they were working on the minimum wage. And by the way, have you scrapped that stupid idea of Lord Hermes to give away the Chagos for 35 billion to Mauritius? And when are you going to start to drill the North Sea for oil and gas, just like Norway are doing? We're buying oil and gas off them. I mean, it is absolutely bonkers. And then, of course, we've been spending money that is absolutely needed on the defence of the realm. These are just a few ideas, Andy. So whether you're in Downing Street, north or south, get on with it.
See, here's the problem, John. So he says he's going to move number 10 up north. Well, that's the solution for everything. Well, if we're struggling for money, I think you're going to need to move number 11 up north. And then, I don't know, but just move the whole street.
Yeah, take down the street, brick by brick, and put it in.
There's answer for everything, so I'll just move it up north. Okay.
They can't even get Manchester sorted. Manchester's in a terrible state.
Doesn't matter where he lives. He's making the decisions, whether he lives on Mars or China or Bolton. So it doesn't matter where he is, really.
Did you know how much in debt Manchester really is? I mean, it's massive. I mean, I thought Warrington was bad at $3 billion, okay? Approaching $3 billion. But somebody should go check out the debts that Manchester's associated with. And it's bad, So what's going to happen with the council tax there? Is it because Andy's got number 10 there? Are they going to keep the council tax under, a certain amount, or what? What's going to happen?
I don't know. Well, while you're on the subject of council tax, I've noticed a lot of people, obviously a lot of them from political parties locally, having to go out and clean their communities. Right, and then there's arguments going on about who's cleaned it up. Right, hang on a minute, right? Shouldn't we be looking at the bigger picture here? Why is everyone having to clean it up? Where's the Labour-run council? What are we paying council tax? How come we're paying more and more every year and we're getting less and less and less? Someone's taking the piss. Because when they see you going out and doing this stuff, and it's great that people are doing it, love a bit of that myself. But then they're like, well, they're doing it. They're doing it. It's fine.
Well, you know what it is.
You know what I mean? It's just...
They're copying off the supermarkets, and the manufacturers of the food, downsizing. So what they're doing is they're maximizing on the income and downsizing on the services that you get for that income. That's the truth.
It's funny, though, because they're all out, the Labour are out round here as well, but it's not because there's an election. It's because there's been another party in the area showing them up, basically, and doing a better job.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just say reform on a thing round here, so you can probably guess which of the smaller parties that'll be.
Oh, the Greens?
They are small. They're not really a thing either. No, not round here.
Well, it's got to be Restore you're talking about, yeah?
It certainly is.
Oh.
Hitting the ground running. So and then you've got the like little ants Labour, aren't they? They're all out there. Look at us, what are you doing? Yeah. Oh, there isn't an election. I wonder why you're doing it then. Well, being shown up. You got
we're going to be talking.
Just a photo op.
We're going to be talking about Rupee. Okay, and is it a marriage of convenience? They're going to be going on. But anyway, let's start off with what would be your definition of invasion?
People coming into your country who you never invited in the fucking first place.
Okay.
I'd say that was more than one of them.
Here's somebody sensible giving a definition. Check this out. I know.
When a few hundred Israeli soldiers crossed into Lebanon in 2024, the media called it an invasion. When a few hundred Russians entered Crimea in 2014, the media called it an invasion. But when more than 60,000 Moroccans, mostly military-aged men, stormed the Spanish border to then loot, rob and attack the Spanish people, the media calls it a humanitarian crisis and labels the invaders as migrants. Wankers. Make it make sense.
You can't.
Yeah, there's no point asking morons to make sense of their absolute insanity, so just call them morons. Take no notice of them and crack on and do your own thing and let's get this fixed.
Well, you're going to love this, right? This is a commentary from a guy. And you can't just listen for the opening line. You're going to love it.
Yo, let's call a spade a fucking spade, shall we, like we always do. A guy from Sudan came over here on a boat with nothing, wants everything. And because he wasn't getting everything for nothing, even though we're trying to give him everything by us fucking idiots working all day, what he's done is he's got a knife, a hammer, some petrol, some other bits and bobs, and gone to a fucking school, a nursery, full of our 2- and 3-year-old kids. Apparently not to chop them all up whilst we're at work, working hard for him to pay for his stay. Instead it was for attention because he wasn't getting the right treatment. So this guy's come from wherever where he had no treatment whatsoever apparently, hence why he wants a better life in the UK. The fact he's got a roof over his head, some fucking food, healthcare, gets to walk the streets freely for free, that's not already enough. So I'll tell you what, I'll get a knife out, a hammer, some petrol and whatever else for attention. And then, to make it worse, he only gets 2 years in jail, so he can do it again when he fancies it. So now when he's pissed off for being locked away for 2 years, his revenge now is what? I'll get the same weapons out, but this time, not for attention, I'll actually get my revenge and attack some kids. What the fuck is going on? You know? We're at work, working, so we can stay here. Do you know what I mean? So we can be housed and whatever. And he's sat there mad. And this is the thing, these people apparently come from nothing. So surely anything you should appreciate. But instead, no, I want to whip out some weapons. If I don't get my own way, you're fucking dead.
Nail on the head. On the head. Bang. Okay?
We've just been fed to the wolves, haven't we, by absolute traitors?
That's right. That's right. Traitors. And this guy nailed it. This guy nailed it.
He did. There's loads of people nailing it, but what I want people to do is actually fight back and do something.
Yeah, they've got to.
I think any party worth its salt now would probably be looking at some kind of gun laws. I'm not saying a free-for-all like the Wild West, what everyone has to, But I've said this before, in Israel, they have certain members of the community who were trained to use firearms in case there was something like...
Yeah, absolutely.
At least some of them could fight back. You know, if that had been a smaller attack somewhere, they might have repelled it. It was very organised, so they didn't. But I think we need something like that, where there is members in the community who can come to people's rescue. Because if a guy turns up with a hammer and basically fire petrol and stuff...
The police will come and arrest you for trying to stop him.
But we've all had kids in nurseries, and I'm pretty sure the staff in there are not up to fighting off a man with knives and petrol bombs or whatever he was going to do. So I really think we need to start thinking about that. So any parties might want to have a little think. And I mean, I know Rupert likes his firearms, so, you know, he's probably the best shot. Can't see any of the rest of them going for it.
God.
Bunch of wet wipes.
Well, here's the...
haven't we? Because,
yeah.
you know, it's all good well having these patrols with people out and about, but you can't really touch people otherwise. As you said, you're the one who gets arrested. So,
well, here's the Spanish reaction, and this was on Friday night.
I think I get the last word.
Do you know what? We've been getting comments, and it's not that
bad ones.
Well, here's Kim Thomas. New mayor of Greater Manchester is just a puppet for Andy. He will still be making the major decisions. Rupert said there you go. The amount of postal votes. We're talking about postal votes again.
Yeah, that's
arrived from Islamic areas in Greater Manchester. Thanks for that, Kim.
Bob on there, Kim. That's exactly what's happened, isn't it?
Yeah, because Labour only exist on a small percentage of votes. That's how they get in. And considering that the turnout was only 25%.
No one wants him, really, do they?
No.
Her. Did they elect a 12-year-old non-binary? Did they? I think, if my memory serves correct even, wasn't it?
Yeah. And some sort of arms for the natives. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot that little thing. Yeah, natives only.
Yeah, natives only. Can you, I mean, it doesn't have to be just Protestants, though, does it?
Well, that is in the Bill of Rights.
Bit of misogyny there, bit of misogyny.
You know, everyone goes on about how to be English and it's Christianity. Well, actually, it's the Protestant Church of England. I think we could probably stretch it out to all natives, to be honest with you.
Okay, and...
Or at least just some respectable members in the you know.
Here's again from Kim.
Thanks, Kim.
Thanks very much, Kim. There we go.
Appreciate the support there, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
So what were we saying? Yeah, I kind of guessed any nasty comments, because I've been going through all ours the last week, and I haven't really found any, and it's boring.
No. Well, here's the GBN.
I like the nice ones, thanks, but
you just want to have a go at somebody.
Well, in a nice way.
So you haven't spotted anybody yet?
All right, I've got a spot.
Here we go. Here's the GBN commentary on the Moroccan invasion.
Gentlemen, the left have aligned on their response to the invasion of Ceuta, and it effectively boils down to, well, most of the barbarians have left now, so why are you fascists still complaining? Kay Burley got in on this act early in response to Robert Jenrick on social media, when she basically said words to the effect of, well, around half of them have already returned to Morocco, according to Spanish authorities. Right, great, no problem then. We had Mehdi Hassan, who was already talking about the Ceuta hoax. And then you had the Chancellor of the University of Manchester, who said, well, they're all home now and they are resting today. Because, of course, after 24 hours of frenzied criminality, you do need to rest your tired legs. Here's my considered and formal response to the leftists like Mehdi and Kay, who gaslight you into looking at a foreign invasion and then saying, well, there's nothing to see here. First, I can play your silly game. January 6th, those rioters, well, they only spent a few hours at the capital and then they went home. So why are you still complaining about a threat to democracy? Of course, the answer here is that you can't ignore 24 hours of rioting and the terror that was inflicted by those Moroccan men, and they were all men, on the people of Ceuta. Second, you are ignoring the lesson of this particular invasion, and that is that illegal migration is now a weapon of warfare. This was obviously coordinated. 60,000 plus men don't just independently decide to invade a country of their own volition.
Correct,
it was most likely organised by hostile forces in Morocco, and this same tactic is being used against the United Kingdom today. We know that the IRGC are sending terrorists across the English Channel in dinghies and setting up an infrastructure based around mosques, colleges and other public institutions. To ignore that is to ignore one of the great public challenges of our time in Europe and in this country. But third, and most importantly, when the left have basically said, well, you know what, this was just a temporary glitch and now we can move on, they are ignoring the suffering, they are ignoring the fear, they are ignoring the emotions of women who cowered in their homes as men rampaged through their streets. The kind and compassionate left, who are supposedly meant to be the ones who care about the rights of women, at least when trans women aren't involved in the conversation, are now the ones who are completely ignoring those voices, like the voice of this woman here.
We are, as a neighbour of Ceuta, you can already see that...
Okay, so you get the message from that. Okay, now the big question that I've got is...
Me too, but go on.
Spain are subject to the same laws under the ECHR. So what I am not understanding, how were they able to send back or coax all these people? Now, they said 60,000 came across and 53,000 have gone back. I don't believe a word of that shit, okay? But how, under the ECHR, was Spain able to get them back out?
I know.
But we're not. Go ahead.
Because they done it that fast and none of them can afford lawyers. So that was that, wasn't it? Do you think any of them 60,000 are going to be coming back for the court case? Look, this whole ECHR, EU, and all, it's just a facade, mate. Everyone's country should be sovereign. You can do what you want. And they're all proving it round Europe, Poland, Hungary, Spain, Germany. They're all doing stuff that everyone said we couldn't do when we were in the EU. And now we've left everyone saying that you can't do it because you're not in the EU. Oh, shut up. There are laws. Do what we want. That's why we get someone like, I don't know, Rupert or someone in. Then it's going to be, we're doing what we want. And, I mean, even Farage said today, I'll just get the Navy in the channel.
Yeah.
Why not? It's our Navy. It's our channel. Do what you want. Just go, scoot back to France. Just push them back into them.
Push them back.
Now. And just play cat and mouse in the channel until the French get bored and, there's a war.
There's some real shit going on behind the scenes. I don't care what anybody says. They want votes over here. They want to buy votes. And they're using our money to buy votes with these people because they know that all these illegals are going to be voting Labour. That's what it is. Okay?
Before we move on, he just gave an example there where he was like about it's all right when they do it and etc. You could literally say, well, all them people from Southport, Northern Ireland, they all just went home and put their feet up afterwards. So what was the need for the full force? Do you know what I mean? But then the Muslims put the weapons back in the mosque. That's fine. 60,000 of these rampage around causing havoc. How many people have died? It was like 20 or 30 on day one.
That's right.
So, if it's good for the goose, I suppose it's good for the gander, isn't it?
Yeah, well, let's finish off that section and then we're going to go on to Rupee.
Yeah.
There's where they were. They didn't all go back. Look at them.
Looks like they're ready to go. Unless this is
absolute loads of them. And that must be a guy from an NGO because I saw a high vis. Who's this guy? Who's this guy behind?
All I can see is Under Armour, Diesel, Adidas,
Calvin Klein.
I'm pretty sure if you're really that skint, I bet they've all got mobile phones as well, haven't they?
Look at them. Just like they own the place. I was just...
Calvin Klein's, yeah.
I don't know. And what's happening to us? I mean, 50 to 60,000 people My God, that is just unbelievable. That had to be orchestrated. That had to have government backing. It had to. I don't care what anybody says.
What if they all managed to get boats over, I don't know, to Gibraltar?
I know.
I mean, even half that number wouldn't be able to cope, would they?
I don't know.
And then what are we going to do? We're just going to tell citizens of our country, it's just one of them things that happens. They'll all be back home later having a cup of tea. Because it doesn't, if you were a poor, starving, hungry refugee, would you really be marching up the street with like a mob of your mates shouting "Allahu Akbar"?
Nah.
With the Eid song? Nah, something tells me they're full of shit, John. But
they are full of shit
anyway, don't we? Just like the politicians. So.
Well, moving on. This was something that came from Rupert just the other day.
Nigel, when we were both elected at the general election in July 2024, the five of us all knew that we had achieved something truly remarkable through starting the process of breaking the two-party system that has strangled and suffocated Britain for so very long. It was a special moment, and it was an honour to walk into that building as part of our group of 5 MPs. I treasured that then, and despite everything, I still treasure it today. However, now in 2026, we're in a very different place. The landscape has changed dramatically. Our differences over the last 18 months are well documented. I do not agree with how you remove me from reform, but let's not recycle those same arguments again and again. I want to move past that. The country we both love is changing beyond recognition. Millions of people feel like strangers in their own communities. They work hard, pay their taxes, obey the law, and yet they see no fair reward for any of that. They see a patriotic right hopelessly divided. They see hard work punished and indolence rewarded. That is why today I'm reaching out to put personalities and our past disagreements aside for the good of the country we all so want to succeed.
There you go. Now, he goes on, he talks about policies, and this was Farage's response to Lowe. And then, Mark, I want you to give me your comments. Here you
go. On the Rupert Lowe stuff, well, my understanding is that he had a bit of a fallout last week with the Conservatives, who, he had been working quite closely with for some time. He said that he had a deal with the Conservatives, and Kemi Badenoch said they had an arrangement. I don't know what that was. My understanding is there was a bit of a fallout. Now, look, I mean, if you want to do a political deal with somebody, you would contact them privately and not do a 12-minute video. That said, I did actually reach out back yesterday to him. I did say, look, should we have a call? I haven't heard back yet, so I don't know what the sincerity of this is. But it seemed to me that he was sort of, more than anything, perhaps putting out this gesture, saying, look, I'm the good guy, Nigel's the bad guy. Well, that's not the case. If you look at my history,
really,
in politics over the last few years, I am prepared to do things and make sacrifices if I believe it's in the national interest. I certainly did that in 2019, and I would do whatever I could for us to have a sane centre-right alliance that beat Labour at the next general election. But I don't ditch my friends, I don't ditch my allies, whether that's Suella Braverman or Posh George, I do not ditch people because somebody else wants me to. And there's an irony in this, which is that 2 years ago, Rupert Lowe said what a fantastic job Jenrick, Braverman and Kruger were doing inside the Conservative Party.
Okay, so it doesn't sound to me like he's dismissing things. He's just making a few points. That they're jostling for position, within the argument. But, okay, you take it away, Mark, and you tell me what you think.
Well, I'm going to go on what a lot of people have been saying today. Is this Rupert being the bigger man, putting the country first? Or like Farage says, is it Rupert making Farage look weak? Because unfortunately, a day after Rupert saying we won't repeat the same old arguments, they're both repeating the same old arguments. Nigel's come out and gone, well, you haven't got a chance of winning anything. In other words,
that's not true. Everybody has a chance.
Well, he said outside of Yarmouth, you haven't got a cat and mouse chance of winning anything, or whatever he said. And then he's obviously Rupert's still mentioning what they did to him, and I just think it's not going to happen, to be honest, because obviously Restored put there, you've got to stick to these 5 things, knowing that Farage probably won't on a couple of them. And from what Farage is saying, it's between him and Labour, and Restore never win anything. It sounds like he thinks he doesn't really need them. But if you're going to continue to lose that polling percentage and Labour keep gaining it, then where Reform going to get the votes from? I think it was Carl Benjamin who said this yesterday. He said Reform have only got things to lose from now on. Restore can take things away from Reform, but Reform can't take things away from Restore. It's going to be very difficult to get. Well, it's those 2 people mainly, isn't it?
Yeah, there's something got to happen.
To 1, put the differences behind them, and to 2, make this agreement whatever it may be. Because it's a bit sketchy from both sides, to be honest. I think Rupert's got in there first. It's quelled the whole, he's a Tory plant, because now your Alex Phillipses and your Farages are now having to make an excuse why that's not a thing anymore. And they've all fell out. I think he means Catherine Blakelock and Rupert might have had a bust up. I don't know. I wouldn't have a clue, but I don't know. I just think it's never going to happen, to be honest. And
well, I'm a little bit more hopeful, although I can understand your cynicism. I'm a little bit more hopeful because the situation is so bad that we know which way it's heading. And everybody will say, no. Take a look at the economy. See how many people are coming in. 2,000 migrants, illegal migrants, have come in since Andy Burnham took over. 2,000.
Well, see, the thing is Nigel then said he did put the country first in 2019. Really? Because you handed it to Boris, and we've had the Boris wave.
Yeah.
So could we, in effect, blame Nigel for that as being one of the results of that decision to just hand the whole referendum, Brexit and everything over to them failed Conservatives?
Yeah.
Was that really the best thing to do? And he's never going to accept Rupert's bit on mass deportations. And I'm quite frankly, if a party isn't interested in stopping our demographic replacement, then I'm not really interested in that party. What does it do for me?
Yeah.
What does it do for our children, really? If that's the key thing. It's the immigration, all roads lead to it. This is what's destroying this country. And until that's fixed, we're in big trouble.
We are in big trouble, yeah.
And that is the thing, that we're all on the same page: Reform, Restore, etc. And another thing was that no failed Tories. Well, he's just said there he's not going to ditch his friends, Braverman and Jenrick. So there's going to be no deal. I mean, in theory, it sounds wonderful.
You don't know. You don't know because
it's never going to happen, is it?
I mean, you see what happens with Trump and Iran. I mean, I was hoping that Trump would absolutely flatten the guys and get rid of them, get rid of the IRGC. And if he did that, then we wouldn't have this issue coming on, because as that guy said on GB News, the IRGC are setting up a base over here. That's what they do. That's how they survive.
Well, I've been saying this to people today, probably yourself. There's more chance of doing a deal with the IRGC than there is with Farage, I'm afraid, because that didn't fill me with hope for any kind of deal.
Well, one of them have got to go then. One of them or the other have got to go.
What would the deal be? Either Farage accepts Rupert's demands, which he's not going to do.
We're talking about policies here.
Or Rupert
it's policy.
Changes his policy. Exactly, and he's not going for that policy. So, and then you've had Tyson, Youssef and that basically coming out just not helping the situation whatsoever.
I get it. But I don't know. Something has got to happen. Something's got to happen, Mark, because otherwise the situation is just going to get worse and worse. And we've got dipshits controlling our lives. And I'm sick and tired of that.
Everyone vote for the party that's got the best policies to fix this.
Yeah.
That's the solution. It's going to be tough because it's not going to... Nigel doesn't want us. He does not want us. Can't join his party, can't stand for his party. Why would we want to be part of that? It's very sketchy what they both mean at the minute, but I think Rupert's probably put out an
Well, they're jostling. They're jostling for some sort of position in public, but they're going to have to bang their heads and come together, because that's the only way that Labour and the Greens are going to be beaten, because they need to be wiped out. Labour's only way forward is to capture that small percentage. And who are they going for? They're going for the Muslim vote all the time. And that's why they're allowing so much to go on.
Again, let them appeal to the minority vote when, I know we're always saying don't play the whole identity game, but we should be. We've got the majority identity in the country, so we should be using that to our advantage and let them chase the minority vote. And we all hopefully come together in some common ground at some point.
Yeah.
But, I mean, from what I gather from what they both said, the only thing I've really got solid on what they both said is they're not interested in doing anything with the Conservatives, either of them. So, which is good, because if that was ever a thing, then I'm afraid I would not be happy with working with the Conservatives.
No.
They've caused all this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
but understand Rupert has to work cross-party in Parliament if he wants to get anything done. Then he gets accused of making deals with people and blah, blah, blah. You've got to make some kind of deal. But Rupert, if you watch Dan Wootton, he was on there earlier and he's explained all this and what was going on with the Conservatives. There's no deal to destroy reform. Well, his decision here now just has blown that out the water. That's why Alex Phillips and everyone, their heads have fell off. And it's, you must have all fell out then. It's like, you're going to think of one lie to fucking cover up for the last lie. Yeah. Just be honest. We're all kind of 90% on the same page. It's how you fix that 10%, isn't it?
We've got to get rid of the personalities. They've got to go, because that's the only way this country is going to get better. And there was a debate at the Oxford Debating Society.
Oh, yeah, we got time for that.
Yeah, and quite literally, it was, should the West be suspicious of Islam?
Stephen Yaxley Lennon, known to his hooligans as Tommy Robinson. Stephen, there is a crowd outside rioting against you tonight, and without the protection and generosity of a Muslim Palestinian president and a mostly South Asian executive committee.
What does she mean? The generosity of the...
Yeah, she's basically, what she does is goes on to just, you'll see what he goes on. Can you just pause it after the end of each one so we can have a little chat?
Yeah, I will do. Sorry.
No, you're all right. Go
on. You would be quite literally cooked.
Now look at her face now. She knows she's messed up. Go for that face. Go on, we pause it there. So that was a little taste of what you got for the side that are against the motion that we should be suspicious about Islam in the West. So that was her little speech at the start, but apparently it's a tradition to mock the other side. But the lad on the Tommy side, and he held back a little bit on the mocking of the other side, probably because of the demographic of them all, because he knew what had happened. There'd be bloody outrage. But that was like the childish little snipes, and there was no intellect from the left. There was... Tommy could have done better. He tried to point out the stuff like the jihad and the stuff with gay rights and the stoning of women, but they just shrug all that off because, it's not happening in our version of Islam in this country. So that's just Al-Qaeda and ISIS, and they're not Islamic. The same old argument I've seen and heard for 10 or 15 years. Don't forget, I've debated people online about Islam, Ali Dawah and people like that, and quite frankly, it was the same argument. It's meaningless crap. And then you had this next bloke who doesn't really know what he's talking about either, to be honest.
You ready?
Yeah.
You mentioned the verse in the Quran about prepubescent women being married. It's not true. Okay, if you knew what you were talking about, you wouldn't have said it. The word that's used for the female in the Quran is a word that's used for women. That ayah of the Quran was revealed because a man come to ask the Prophet, how do I divorce my wife if she does not have periods, because she is past the age of period. She's a mature woman. That's what that was for. Then the verse was revealed. No, that's what it is. You're not an expert on the Quran. You're not an expert on Islam. You present yourself to be an expert to people that don't know any better, but you're not talking to those people today. No more points of information.
So can we pause that one for a little second? So he says he's the expert, then apparently we know nothing. Well, there's the Hadith from Sahih Bukhari, which is the Sunnah, the examples and sayings of the Prophet.
Yep.
And this explains the Quranic verse he was on about, and it's there in the Book of Wedlock. Chapter 39, giving one's young children in marriage is permissible. We'll see who translated this in a minute. And by the virtue statements of Allah, for those who have no monthly courses. Now, in brackets, i.e. they are still immature. That's Quran.
Yeah.
Chapter 65, verse 4. It's about the waiting period after you've been married until you can be married and have sex again. Why the hell would you be talking about that for a prepubescent girl? It's disgusting. And just to back up as evidence, there's the Hadith, which explains that Muhammad married Aisha when she was 6 and consummated the marriage when she was 9, which just before that clip, that fella just totally brushed off and said, I've dealt with this before, I don't need to deal with it again, my mate will deal with it. It's just a pathetic argument. So we'll just go to the next one and then pause it, and then you'll see where this book came from. He wants experts, does he? Okay, well, I mean, I don't think you're going to get anyone as good as these guys.
Do you want me to pause it there?
Yeah, please. So you've got Dr. Mohammed Mushin Khan, and formerly the director of University Hospital, Islamic University of Medina, which was the first city that really Islam took a hold of when Muhammad and his companions formed their group, and that's Dar al-Salam. It's right out of Saudi Arabia. That's the birthplace of Islam. So did someone say expert? So does that guy in the room with the Cockney accent and the rubbish Muslim beard know more than these guys, does he? Because they've translated the Quran into English and the Hadiths and then explained what it all means. And if you look at some of the translations from some of Islam's most respected scholars, Ibn Kathir and everyone, all agree and disagree with that guy who said, we don't know what we're on about. So again, he's gaslighting everyone. But this, John, this was the icing on the cake. And we'll explain it after we've seen it. But there's a little clip from before, at the start of Lawrence's speech, and then I skip to the end of it. So we'll have a little break after this bit, and then we'll...
I was thinking about this debate and the worthiness of consultation, which Chamberlain invoked, and the motion this House believes the West is right to be suspicious of Islam. And then I started thinking about a cartoon that I have here in this envelope. It's a cartoon which I think it instills in me feelings much, much more worrying than suspicion. But, you know, in the spirit of consultation, I'll just leave it here.
Their faces.
For the moment, if we're okay with that.
So he's just going to leave it there. So we'll just pause that if you can. So basically, he's insinuating he's got a cartoon in his little envelope. We know what he means. And the whole room went silent. Now, bearing in mind, when Tommy did his bit of the debate, they just jumped up every 10 seconds and tried to interrupt him with, oh, we don't say that about the Jews, and that's not what Islam says, and he's taking things out of context. They wouldn't let him speak. But after Lawrence Fox insinuated he had a certain cartoon in the envelope, not one person interrupted him because their arses were about to fall out. So let's see what happened when he gets to the end of his speech. Continue.
But most important to me is the free speech of this. So, let's get this out, shall we? 78% of British Muslims believe that no publication should publish pictures of Muhammad. An overwhelming majority. That rises to 87%. That's 9 out of every 10 Muslims that are walking the streets today in a country which absolutely abandoned blasphemy laws. Suspicion is not strong enough a word. The West should resist Islam in the strongest terms on free speech grounds alone. So here we are with this cartoon, right? And it's time.
It's time
to show that I will not submit. I will not adhere to the religious laws of far-off places. Now, my wife asked me not to show this for fear of repercussions in my family, but I told her that if I did not, then I had already submitted to Islam. So here we are.
Is it not enough that half the team that invited you to this debate were Muslim women who wanted to hear out your expression and your arguments? Is it not enough that I, as a Muslim president, have invited you to this chamber to give your arguments? Is that not enough justification and evidence for you to believe that we do believe in free speech? I will not become the president of a free speech society if that works.
Thank you, may I? Thank you very much. May I finish? Excuse me.
Point of order having been raised, I'll hear the ex-librarian.
It's a long time since I've been in this chamber and knew the rules off by heart. In the House of Commons, and we model ourselves on the House of Commons, props are not allowed. I wonder whether the rule on props is the same in the Oxford Union.
I thank the honourable gentleman for his point of order.
Excuse me, for 1 second.
One moment.
In the
One
absence...
moment. Mr. Fox, I am going to rule on the point of order. There is no bar in the forms of the House against the use of props.
Ooh.
However, I would encourage Mr. Fox to make the point and move on.
I was until points of order. So it is in that spirit that I will not submit that I show you this
Look at the security
as
in
an
the
Englishman
background.
who believes in free speech.
I
will not submit. I will not bow down.
Oh, there's some relieved faces in there.
Right. So, I think which rather proves the point I was trying to make.
Brilliant.
That in this envelope lived your fear, and your fear of Islam, and what Islam will do to you that when you upset its very oversensitive sky wizard. And what lived in this room is a healthy and brilliant and noble British tradition of suspicion of Islam. I encourage you to pass the motion. Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
I'll give that a round of applause as well, mate.
Absolutely brilliant. Love it.
I've watched some debates in my time, John, and that was a masterpiece. I am telling you now, I don't know where he pulled that off from. He had the whole room's bums twitching.
Yeah,
why were they
absolutely.
twitching? Because the reaction you'll get from Muslims and Islam over a cartoon. Everyone in that room was suspicious. Everyone was crapping himself. Even the security behind him. You see them big four guys there.
Yeah.
The security. Their faces sunk when he pulled that, and they were like, and you see him all move forward when he went to open it.
Yeah.
And Jacob Rees-Mogg jumped up. Oh, well, the rules, you can't use. But he tried to stop it. That was the first Palestinian Muslim president of the, oh God, that sentence, of the Oxford Union, whatever it is.
Yep.
They all jumped up and tried to stop him. He didn't debate them. He just did one thing, and it proved to the whole
whole point.
Why we need to be suspicious of Islam.
Well, the fact of the matter is that they lost the debate.
Well, I'm going to be... They always do. But they didn't, did they? Because Lawrence Fox...
Yeah, they won
Lawrence
it.
Fox won that debate. I know there's other people in it, but I've just took some of the best bits, I thought, and Lawrence Fox won the debate with that. That was genius. The point was proved when they jumped up and tried to stop him.
Yeah.
Like my little thing, we're all for free speech, but shut the F up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, very great insights there from you, Stats. Your knowledge of this subject is superb. Okay?
It's all right.
I would say that you were spot on.
Thanks for reminding me about that, yeah. Wait till it's your turn. I hope it's right on the end of your nose.
I know. Well, sir, okay. Thank you very much for your input. Thank you to all the people that commented tonight on the things that, behind the scenes as well. Much appreciated. And we will be back on Wednesday. And here's someone that we're not hearing too much about at the moment. So I just thought that I would put this on from the British Patriots. And it's about Sadiq Khan. And this will take us out, and we'll see you all on Wednesday. Here we go.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Take care. See you soon.
No, Sadiq, you've done it now. From City Hall to the Lords. Starmer's handing out the ermine, 'cause the backbench needs rewards. Knighted once, now a baron, for services to spin. While Londoners lock their doors and wonder where it all went in.
I love
You say
Amelia.
it's safer than New York, safer than Chicago too. But try telling that to the mum whose kid got stabbed in Zone 2. Lord Connor, Oxbridge, defender of the stats. Cherry-pick the homicides while the streets pay for that. Phone thefts through the roof, shoplifters on a spree. But hey,
everybody
the
give
murder
British
rate's down.
patriots a sub,
Congratulations,
please.
Your
They're
Majesty.
great.
Oh, yeah. Rise, Sir Sadiq, rise up to the house so grand, while the rest of us dodge the knives in this People's Republic of the damned. 10 years in the hot seat, crimes up 30% or more. Knife offenses soaring like you opened up the store. Shoplifting records broken, theft from person tripled high. But you tweet about misinformation as the old girls cry. Public health, a poach, you boast diversion for the youth. Meanwhile, the gangs are laughing. Diversion? That's the truth. Lord Connor, the Met, patron saint of press releases. Blame it on the Tories, Brexit, or the bloody breezes. Fair evasion, booming burglary, still a joke. But you've got that peerage coming. What a splendid bloke. Arise, oh